All right, here's the thing. When your kid melts down because they can't get what they want, or they just don't have the words to say it, that moment can feel so overwhelming, right? That's exactly what we're going to talk about today.
Oh, yeah. That happens all the time in my house. And honestly, I didn't realize at first that so many of those big tantrums or outbursts were really just my kid trying to communicate, but in a way that, wasn't working.
Exactly. And there's actually a tool in ABA called Functional Communication Training, or FCT, that's all about giving kids a better way to ask for what they need instead of using those problem behaviors.
Mm-hmm. And before we jump all the way in, let's just do quick intros. I'm Emily.
And I'm Sarah. Together, we host the StarRise ABA podcast, where we keep it real about parenting and ABA strategies that can actually make family life a little smoother.
And just so you know, this podcast is for educational purposes only and not a substitute for professional advice.
Also, today's podcast is brought to you by StarRise ABA, providing personalized in-home ABA therapy, parent support, and school consultation for families across North Carolina. Learn more at starriseaba.com.
Okay, so let's dive into this whole FCT thing. Picture this. Your child wants a snack, but instead of asking, they scream and throw themselves on the floor. Super stressful. But if they had a simple word or even a gesture to say, "Snack, please," that meltdown might never even happen.
Yes, and the thing is, those problem behaviors often come from not having the right communication tools. So with FCT, what we do is figure out what your child is trying to get with the behavior, and then teach them a new, more helpful way to ask for it instead of using those problem behaviors.
Mm-hmm. Right? So basically, it's not about stopping the behavior cold. It's about giving your kid a better option. Like, instead of screaming for attention, maybe they learn to tap you on the shoulder or say, "Come play."
Exactly. And here's what's really important for parents listening. FCT can work with any form of communication. It doesn't have to be talking. It could be pointing to a picture, using a sign, or even pressing a button on a device that says the word out loud. The key is it has to be easy enough for your child to use in the moment.
Oh, that's huge. Because I think sometimes as parents, we expect too much. Like, I've caught myself saying, "Just use your words." But my son didn't have the words yet, so of course he defaulted to crying.
Exactly. And that's such a common experience. So the first step in FCT is really paying attention. When your child is throwing a fit, pause and ask yourself, what are they trying to tell me right now? Are they hungry, tired, needing a break, wanting attention?
Mm-hmm. Like detective work.
Yes, exactly. Parent detective work. And once you know the why, you can teach a new way to ask for that same thing.
So let's break this down with some real life examples, because that always helps me.
Perfect. So let's say your child hits when they want a toy. Instead of hitting, you could teach them to hand you a picture of the toy or to point to it and say, "Toy." Then right away, you give them that toy. That way they learn, "Oh, I don't need to hit. I can do this instead." And it works.
And the cool thing is, when they see that the new way works faster, they start to use it more often.
Exactly. Or here's another one. If your child screams when they're tired, you might teach them to say break or use a break card. Then you let them go rest. Over time, the screaming goes down because they've learned a better, calmer way to ask for it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that makes so much sense.
And it doesn't have to be complicated. Even a simple gesture like pointing to the fridge for a drink can be a huge win, especially if it prevents a meltdown.
So I'm thinking about what this looks like day to day. What are one or two tips parents could actually try tonight?
Good question. First thing, pick just one situation that happens a lot. Maybe it's snack time. Maybe it's when your child wants your attention. Don't try to tackle everything at once.
Right. Start small.
Yes. Second thing, model the new communication over and over. So if your child usually cries for juice, hold up the cup and say, "Juice, please." Then help them say it or gesture for it. The moment they try, even if it's not perfect, give them the juice right away. That's the reward.
Oh, so it's about showing them that asking the new way actually works better than crying or hitting.
Exactly. Kids learn really quickly when they see results.
I think what parents need to hear is that this doesn't fix everything overnight. Like, there's going to be ups and downs, right?
Absolutely. Progress takes time, and there will still be moments of frustration. But every time your child uses a new communication skill instead of a meltdown, that's a win. Celebrate that.
Those small wins add up. And honestly, it just feels better as a parent when you know your child is learning to express themselves in a healthier way.
Yes. And I always say this is about building connection. FCT isn't just about reducing problem behaviors, it's about helping your child feel heard and understood. And that changes the whole family dynamic.
I love that. So, just to wrap it up, start with one situation, model the new way to ask, reward it right away, and celebrate the small steps.
Perfect summary.
Thanks for listening to the Starrise ABA podcast by Starrise ABA. Remember, the information shared here is for educational and informational purposes only. It should not be taken as medical, behavioral, or therapeutic advice for your child. Every child is unique, so please consult with a licensed professional or your healthcare provider for guidance tailored to your family's needs. The views expressed in this podcast are those of the hosts and guests and do not replace individualized care.
And we'll be back with more tips and real life strategies next time. Until then, hang in there. You're doing amazing. Thank you.